Success tip number 8 is let go your ego. You guys remember that old commercial when I was a little girl? It was like let go my ego, and the waffles would pop up and down out of the toaster. It would be like, let go my ego, let go my ego. Just think ego. Ego is edging God out. I always remember that. And I used to be so bad at this, right? Someone's telling a story and you just can't wait to interject. Oh, I did that too, but you did it better, right? Someone went on vacation. Oh, we've been there. Not only did we go to Florida, we golfed at Doral, right? And it's hard for me because I've had a lot of great experiences. I've been a lot of places. I've had a lot of success. But I've really learned if you want people to like you, you really want people to be like, I love her. I want to be in business with her. I want to do life with her. You've got to take the focus off you and put it on them. So when someone has an idea, maybe you add to the idea, give them all the credit, right? Yesterday, we were on a corporate Zoom. And on our corporate Zoom, I literally pointed out a couple people like, you're so good at these brainchilds. Like, what could we do to really blow up the company the last 15 days of the month? Like, let's do something crazy. And even though I'm the CEO, I was like, tell me your guys' ideas. And then I got in our diamond chat and I said, what do you guys think of this? And then Patty Gardner, who's literally running the show with my daughter, Callie, I wasn't even in the chat. I was so busy all day. I couldn't even talk to my husband, my kids, nothing till 10 o'clock last night. I had people waiting on return phone calls. And do you know what happened? Everybody in the chat came up with the ideas because there's brilliant minds all around you. And guess what? It's not about you. You've got to turn the spotlight on all the other people around you so they feel loved, they feel valued, they feel heard, they feel like they have a seat at the table, right? Like, it's not just your table. It's not just the higher uppers table. I've never been into politics. I don't know why. I could never do it, but I should. This week, I have been surrounded in rooms. I never understood why women hated men in corporate America. Like, I've never understood that. No man's gonna boss me around. I ain't ever been taking orders from a man or let a man make me feel inferior, right? I do not have an ego. I do not have to be the one. I do not have to be the boss, but I know my worth. Like, do you know your worth? Okay, if you know your worth, then you shouldn't be egotistical or narcissistic, because the only people that do that are people who are insecure. They always got to get a word in so they feel important, right? It always has to be their idea, or they don't want to do it. They want all the credit. They want all the recognition. Do you know what that is? That is an insecurity. So if you're around people who are doing that, ask yourself, instead of hating them, I used to work with someone like this, and I would literally go to bed at night. This is why I could never be in politics, because I hate arguing. Nobody wins an argument, and I don't have to be the one. Like, go ahead and have your whole spotlight. See how good it is all by yourself, right? Nobody wants to work with people like that. So my success tip on day 8 is give everyone around you all the credit. If you don't get your way, don't be a baby. Don't go pout and hope it goes wrong because you didn't get your way. Don't go cry in the corner and say, if they would have done this, it would have happened differently. Last night I got a message from someone in our hometown who's doing a bang up job in one of the departments. Like, loving his job, loving his life, bringing so much value to our little town. But someone else in the department is evidently calling to the state saying, I wouldn't have hired him. If it would have been me, I would have done it differently. If they would have done my idea. Do you know what that is, guys? That is a cancer in the group. And culture, really healthy culture, in a church, in a gym, a football team. Dave, you can't be right or you can be at peace. One of the two. Sometimes you just gotta, as Lola says when she does her cooking show, and a pinch of mwah. Sometimes you gotta bless and release, right? But really, really successful people, they don't have to be right. They just let people stay perplexed and egotistical. When you think about people who really make a difference, really make impact, and I'm not talking about politics, that's a whole different story. The reason I could never be a politician is because I'm an empath, and I get my feelings hurt even if one is mean to the other. Like, I have a hard time watching sports because I want both teams to win. Like, I cry at the end when one team loses. So I'm not your girl for politics. Don't even go there with me. But I do need to run for office in my hometown. And here's why. I don't want to live in this hometown, but here's why. There's so many egos, and everyone is arguing, and everybody wants to be right, that there never gets to be a solution. So I want to say to you today, and this is not about my hometown, and this is not about politics. This is about business. If you want to build a really, really big team, find the most powerful women on your team, give them all the credit. This morning, we're launching a huge promotion for our company. Like, if you've ever been watching me and wanted to be a part of something big, July is your month, right? We came up with this idea. I didn't. One of the guys on our corporate team did. And Christopher and I and Patty and Callie and Darian and Chance was like, ooh, I like that. And then Dave was on there. He was like, we used to do that, and it was fire. And we were like, let's do it. Well, last night they were all in there naming the campaign, and I was like, I haven't been in here all day. Like, 5 diamonds, all the corporate staff. I'm the CEO, and I've been too busy to chime in, right? I couldn't get in the chat. And at the end of the day, I jumped in the chat, and then someone said, ooh, I love that. And then someone else made a graphic, and then one of the leaders said, I don't like the graphic. But you know what they said? Let me help make it better. Do you know what egotistical, narcissistic people do? Their graphic sucks. I wouldn't have done it that way. They didn't ask me for my opinion. That's so stupid. That's the dumbest thing they could have ever done. Because insecure people tear down. Insecure people with egos that are narcissistic, cancer in the group, they always got to one-up everybody. They always got to tear it down. They always got to get their way. I don't put up with that shit. No, I ain't putting up with that shit. Haven't done it for the last 9 months, 10 months of my life. And guess what, guys? It's an explosive, crazy, successful, breaking all the records in the whole industry kind of culture. And do you know what? There will be people that will sneak into your circle, and there'll be those people, and you got to stand up. You got to say, we don't do that shit over here. We don't have egos. That's edging God out. We're building an empire. We're not tearing it down. And if I had another life in me, I would go right into my little hometown where I was born and raised, and I would say, you're the problem, you're the problem, you're the problem, you're the problem. I would say, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired, because you're the cancer in the group. But I don't have another lifetime to do that. And I'm so big building frequent. And I'm big building a movement. And I'm big gonna be for the Lord and change so many people's lives with a ministry. I don't have time to argue with the egotistical, narcissistic, heartless. People call it evil. I can't even call them evil. They just don't know. And they just don't care. And they don't feel good. And they're not confident. And they have a low self-esteem. And hurting people hurt people. Guys, mean people suck. And there's only a few of them in the world. But there's been times in my life where I just felt like they were all following me around like a swarm of bees or wasps. You know what? You're not a tree. You can move. You're not stuck where you are. You decide who you let in here. And you got to raise the rent. You got to kick them out. You got to step into your own power. And when you get around people that have egos, narcissistic personalities, you have to learn to, it's called the art of allowing. You allow them to be how they are, but you don't allow them to affect you because you are enough. You can be, you can do, you can have anything you dream of, but you gotta let go your ego. You can be right or you can be rich, but write this down. You're never gonna be both. Today, I'm going to fight and be an advocate for people who don't have a voice right now. And you know what? I might not get my way. I'm not going to go post all the screenshots that I have, or by God, the whole town would get fired. I'm not going to go make a big Facebook post about it because my branding is changing people's lives. My branding is rising and vibing. My company is when you feel good, you do good. So there's free trash out there, food in the dumpster for the homeless people, right? But that doesn't mean you have to go dig in the trash and eat it. Sometimes you just gotta speak your piece, bring the good positive, bring the solutions, don't focus on the problem, and if you don't get your way, keep fighting for what you believe in. Be authentic, but don't have an ego to the point that if they don't use your idea or they don't do it your way, you're not gonna play the game, right? Sometimes you gotta play the understanding game. When you see people like that, say, wow, what must have happened to them in their childhood? Why must they feel that way? What causes them to be so set in that belief? Is it the way they were raised? Is it a trauma that happened? Are they just uneducated? Do they just not know what I know? But don't always have to be right. And when someone's sharing a story, don't interrupt. I'm working on this. This is my worst habit I have. Don't interrupt. Don't interject about you. Just try to listen. If there's one goal I have right now, it's to be a better listener, to play the understanding game. 2 ears, 1 mouth. Just listen. Wow, I can't imagine how you must feel. That's amazing. Tell me more about that. I'm here for you. What can I do for you? I value you. I love you. You know, I've never looked at it from that perspective. What makes you believe that way? Tell me more about that. You guys, I'm telling you, if we had more love and less ego, and we realized, we just bring back the words, what would Jesus do? We were just all love. We didn't always have to be right. We didn't always have to be the one. We didn't have to take everything so personally and argue. Oh my gosh, you guys, the world would be such a better place. Such a better place. In my next life, I'm going to start a church. Actually, I'm going to run for mayor or county commissioner or sheriff or judge or something. I don't know what I'm going to do in my next life. But in this one, I got to stay focused with definiteness of purpose. And my goal right now as the CEO of Frequence is to build the biggest company in this profession and help more people make more money than they've ever made in their entire life and change more lives and make everybody in the world feel good with mental health. But for free, every day, I'm going to serve and I'm going to witness and I'm going to give God all the glory. And that's why you're getting this free training that you don't have to pay for. Try it. Let go of your ego. Quit edging God out. Humble yourself or God will do it for you. And remember, you can either be right or you can be rich. You're never going to be both. Try giving all the people around you the credit. Marina Simone made the graphic today for the whole company because hers was better. Amber Duluth critiqued it and said, I don't like that. You need to have a value on there. Me and Jenna Tomer were so late to the party in the chat. Sorry, guys. We've been on Zooms all day. Thank you so much for all your input. Thank you, Callie, for making sure the email got out. Thank you, Patty, for helping someone create a name for it. Patty, Callie, Dave, Christopher, Darian, Callie, then Chance, then Daisy, then Jenna, then me, then Amber, then Marina, then Bryn. You know, here's the reality. Robin and Sarah clear out in Canada. They bring so much value, much better speaker than I am. And I let them have the spotlight because I don't have to be the one. Let me tell you guys, when you step back and put the people who are lifting you up, who are bringing value to the table, you put them in the spotlight, you're going to see everything around you get better. It's not about you. It's what's in it for them. So let go your ego. Watch what happens, guys. You will do great, great things. Now wish me luck, because I'm walking into a meeting with some men, and a lot of times men are different than women, but I am going to give them all the credit. I'm going to tell them how amazing they are, everything they do for our community, how awesome the world is because they're in it. And then I'm going to ask them if they would be open to a couple of ideas I have. And I might get shot down, but guess what? I don't have an ego. And if they don't take my ideas, it's okay. I'm never going to stop fighting for what I believe in. But if I did have an ego, I would have already went on Facebook, created tons of drama, exposed everybody, called the Capitol, wrote a blog about it, and went live. But guess what? I'm going to take the high road. I'm going to be all love over here with no ego. And I'm going to believe that if I don't have an ego and I don't edge God out, he's going to fight the battle for me, and the victory is already won. And he'll fight yours too. But you have to get off the throne and realize you're not God. You're not that big of a deal. He wants to be, and he will bless you if you will humble yourself, and let go your ego. Have a great day, everyone.